This presentation discusses the Mantel Masterpieces creative process. After describing the general stages of the process, which begins with a concept and ends with the casting, finishing, and assembly of the final product, a number of different concepts and ideas are discussed. In simple terms, we start with a concept. It might be depicted by a generic picture, an existing image from the club's archives, or something more particular or specific, such as a rendering. We then make a pencil sketch of the concept to give our proposal definition. At this stage, changes are made to focus in closely on the customer's specific instructions and needs. Once we have an acceptable sketch, we move to the next stage, which is the hand carving of the image in wax. Once again, the customer is afforded an opportunity to make further adjustments to the wax image. Once approved, we go to the final stage, which is the casting of the image in bronze using the lost waxed method. This method entails making a mold from the final wax image and then using the mold to make the bronze casting. Now that we have the basic steps outlined, let's see how they come together to create Mantel Masterpieces statuettes and deep relief plaques. The first example is the creation of a statuette of Old Tom Morris. Working with the customer, we selected a picture of Old Tom. We were looking for detail and posture in the picture. We then made a sketch from the picture and reviewed that with the customer. Once we were sure that we had the right image, we carved the image in wax, and then after the customer approved the wax image, we completed the bronze castings. The finishing touches included adding antique patinas and mounting the castings on custom-made wood bases and adding custom nameplates. While we were able to find a photograph of Old Tom that our customer liked, that is not usually the case. More often than not, we have to interpret existing images of the subject. In the case of our A.W. Tillinghast trophy, we started with a picture of A.W., but made a number of interpretations from that image. We changed the pose and the posture and made a number of other changes to the image. Once acceptable to our customer, we made the wax image. Likewise, once the wax was approved, we created the bronze casting. So the general creative process should be clear from these examples. But how does Mantel Masterpieces work with its customers to develop a concept? A good example of this is our working with the San Francisco Golf Club, which has a very unique heritage, to say the least. The last duel, yes, duel as in facing off with firearms, occurred on the grounds of the club in 1859. The duel was between Judge David Smith Terry and Senator David Broderick, who died several days later from wounds incurred in the duel. The club owns the pistols from the duel and has an annual event entitled The Duel. The pistols are quite unique in and of themselves in that they have octagonal barrels and many other interesting features. Working with the images of the pistols which the club provided to us, we made sketches of several concepts, the finalist being the one shown here. We also created a sketch of the actual duel with two statuettes, one of Judge Terry and the other Senator Broderick. These were developed to create a perpetual trophy to display the annual winners of the duel. While the San Francisco Golf Club is the only golf club with a duel in its background, many clubs have very rich heritages. Let's take Oakland Hills Country Club as an example. It has hosted 16 major championships since its opening in 1916, and its first club professional was none other than Walter Hagen, himself a 5-time PGA champion. One of the club's member guest events is called the Walter Hagen. Mantel Masterpieces created the trophy for this event. This Walter Hagen statuette was created from the prior photo of Walter Hagen and is made in 3 separate sizes, which are awarded to the overall winner, the flight winners and flight runners-up. Another concept came to us from the Bald Head Island Golf Club off the coast of North Carolina. The island is the home of a spectacular lighthouse called Old Baldy. The lighthouse is famous to aficionados of lighthouses, so when we set out to create an image of Old Baldy, we wanted it not only to be dimensionally correct, but accurate to the most minor details. We studied all available details of the lighthouse and then worked with the club to get up-to-date details from numerous photographs taken by the club. The end result was a highly accurate antique bronze of Old Baldy that stands over 30 inches tall and now resides in the club's pro shop. The Bald Head Island Golf Club also wanted a large bust of its golf course architect, George Cobb, which we created for them from a photograph provided from the club's archives. We gave George a more youthful appearance while staying true to his facial features. This bust was met with kudos from the club and its members. A little different and perhaps simpler concept is the creation of a deep relief plaque from the club's logo. Pictured here is the logo of the Ocean Forest Golf Club on Sea Island, Georgia. From the image of the club's logo, we created the image that you see here and then created the plaque pictured. The quality is reflected not only in the appearance of the plaque, but also its weight. The plaque weighs approximately 10 pounds. The Mayor Brown Tournament is an event conducted by the Illinois section of the PGA of America. The tournament chairman presented the logo of this event to us and asked us to create something that they would be proud to present to the winners of the event. This is the result. Again, the heft of this plaque says as much about its quality as its appearance. It weighs approximately 9 pounds. This Bobby Jones Perpetual Trophy is between 40 and 50 years old. We were asked to make a small version of it to be awarded to the winners of the club's various championships. The objective was not to enhance the statuette, but just to miniaturize it into a suitable trophy accurate to the level of detail in the original statue. We were also asked to replicate another Bobby Jones statue for the Interlochen Country Club. Here the objective was to stay true to the general posture and image of the original trophy, but to make subtle anatomical enhancements to make it more lifelike. The club considers our work to be a huge success. The statuette is the match play trophy for the club. A careful study of the two images will show the vast improvements in the realism of the hands and general body proportioning, as well as the accuracy of the reproduction of Calamity Jane. Another example of working off of old memorabilia is the Indian Hills Golf Club's Indian Head. The club provided us this image, and we created the wax image pictured here from that photograph. Sometimes a customer wants to take an image from their archives and combine it with other of the club's memorabilia. In this case, Bel Air Country Club wanted to create a statuette trophy in the image of George C. Thomas Jr., the architect of the golf course. They also wanted to incorporate his golf bag into the image. This statuette is the end result. There are very few pictures of Dr. Alistair McKenzie available, so we started with this image and then created the pose and posture that the customer desired and added details that were true to the McKenzie family. We paid particular attention to the dress, including the McKenzie family crest, the appropriate sporran, shoes, and many other details. Sometimes all we have to work from is the customer's logo as depicted on a business card. With the challenge, can you make a peacock consistent with this image? We created the statuette pictured. It stands 15 inches tall and weighs approximately 11 pounds. On occasion, a potential customer will ask us to buy an existing Mantel Masterpieces statue created specifically for another club. This was the case when Interlaken saw the Piper we created for Oakland Hills Country Club. While we were flattered, we had to refuse. However, we did create a different Piper for Interlaken. We created the Willie Kidd Piper true to the details of the Piper image that the club's heritage embraced. Details such as the club's logo integrated into the uniform of the Piper as a shoulder patch all became part of the image. The Willie Kidd Piper is unique to Interlaken. This is an example of the club's logo being turned into a statuette, this time of a bronze tree and not of a person. We worked from the club's logo and the name of their invitational, the Bronze Tree Invitational, to create this statue. How about an action figure concept? Whinstone Country Club asked us to make an image of Jack Nicklaus consistent with the famous picture taken at the 17th hole of Augusta National Golf Club in 1986. This is the resulting bronze image in the actual trophy size and in the perpetual trophy version. We have been asked to replicate other bears, if you will, pardon the pun. This bear was exactly what the customer wanted, so we did not attempt to change its appearance or proportions. Here is the end result pictured as a perpetual trophy.